Royals, welcome back. Welcome back. This is a new series. Y'all gonna have to start having lunch with me because it's way too much happening, and I can't do videos only 2 days a week and fit everything in. So we're gonna start having lunch together, and of course, we're going to be talking about Reesa. Baby, let me tell you before we start. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. I'm not built for TikTok Live. That's a whole nother thing. I literally just left from over there getting something, and it's elders like gang banging on each other. So that's just not for me yet. No, I'm a little peaceful and I don't do those things anymore. But let me tell you what I did pass by. First, I hope you have something to eat because I really am eating lunch. And I got something to drink. Swear to God, it's Red Bull. This is my working space. I don't think you guys have seen it from this angle, but this is my working space. So this is what I want you to listen to. Okay. Let you listen to this. This is how much money people make on TikTok. So my first question was, when looking at Reese's videos, is because she is taking so much accountability, she's telling the story from her perspective to include the other person. Why are people so angry? Then I heard this. This is why people is angry.
Richest woman on TikTok. So this woman has been doing a 50-part series, 50 parts on her divorce with her husband. And some of these videos have got over 17 million views just on one single video. And I'm assuming she's monetized and in the creativity beta program. So that video alone could have made $17,000 just for that one video. So I used ChatGPT to add up all the views on that 50-part series, and she got over 86 million views. And if TikTok pays her $1 per 1,000 views, that's over $86,000 just for this series. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of the videos are close to 10 minutes long, and usually platforms pay more the longer your videos are. So if TikTok do the same and pay you more the longer your video is, realistically, she could be making $4, $5 per 1,000 views. That could be almost $400,000 for this series. Follow me for more. I'm broke, baby. This has to be.
Listen, let me tell you. This is what I be talking about when I tell people, if you gonna tell your damn business, make sure that you plan it out. I'm pretty sure she planned this out because she's very strategic. She's choosing her words carefully. And then I pass by and see that she is an Aquarius. Of course we do. I've told y'all, it's things that I have not told you yet. Number one, because it's my business. And when you're going through something, it's not the best time to tell something. You wait until you're done. I'm just saying. She ain't dropped no names. She's protecting people's image. All of these things that she is doing while she's doing these videos made me stay up all night and watch them. It made me watch them because it was so different to see somebody take accountability, tell the story basically exactly how it happened. It sound like a damn story, but it's a Lifetime movie. So this is what we're gonna do for lunch, okay? This is what we're gonna do. We're going to go through each one of the videos and we're going to give our reaction to them. On my platform, you guys know I don't agree with cussing people out, using the word stupid, any of those things your granny taught you. I'm gonna need you to do them over here. I do say foo-foo head and stuff like that. I really won't probably say it about her though. I do that for people that are mean, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through it. So I did have to rake it up. And we are going to watch the first clip. This is my for real lunch because I have a for real job. So we're going to go through it very quickly. And then tonight, when we do the show, Twin and I are going to give a different perspective. My perspective is going to be from a woman around her age when she got married and that does not have children, because that plays a big role, similar backgrounds. It plays a huge role in the decisions that she is making. So here's the first one.
Part 50, who the fuck did I marry? So, the aftermath. There are some realizations I had to come to after the divorce and everything had passed. One, Legion never loved me. He never loved me. He doesn't love himself, so I know he didn't love me. Number two, he didn't even like me. He watched me get excited about things that he knew I was not going to get. And not even just the possession stuff. Like, of course, we know I was excited to be the woman whose husband is like, I'm taking my wife to London. I was excited to be the woman whose husband was like, yeah, I bought my wife a brand new BMW X5. You have to understand, as all the jokes that we make about the BMW, it was the time and effort that he spent in taking me to dealerships and being sure to put me in the car and test drive the car and, you know, oh, I can see you in this. I like this for you. It seems safe. It was the effort to really make me believe that he was going to get this just for him to fuck with me. The effort in taking me to all these homes, to see my face light up as a woman who grew up on welfare, to be able to walk into these 4 and 5 bedroom homes knowing that he didn't have any money to buy it. Imagine if he had just been honest and said, hey, I like in my free time to go to open houses and just see how the other people live. Imagine if he had just said that versus wasting not only my time, but the wasting the time of the realtors who did nothing wrong. There's a level of cruelty to my ex-husband that I had never experienced before, and God knows I pray I never experience it again. That's the word that comes to mind when I think of him. He is cruel to, and it wasn't just me, he did it to the ex-wife. So do I trust? No.
Okay, so here's my first feedback, and you guys can leave your feedback in the comments. My first feedback is there's a book I always talk about, and it's called The 4 Agreements, right? Okay, I don't talk about things that I don't do myself. We all have some level of accountability in some areas that need therapy, right? She's taking accountability the best way she can, right? But she's still hurt. So this was 2020, and it lasted through 2021. She can't grasp everything right now, and that's understandable at this point because it's a lot, right? It's important for me to show this one first because it's a video, and it's 3 more parts of her taking accountability the best way that she can versus starting with the first one where right away people is picking it apart saying, well, that was stupid. Well, that was stupid. Well, that was stupid. Well, yeah, we can say that because we're on the outside looking in. Like somebody example, and then we'll move on, literally started with, well, when your tire blew out and you were on your way there, that was our ancestors trying to tell you. This is why I don't fucking deal with people because I can't nobody see what's in nobody else's house. And I can guarantee you out of those people that are commenting and making videos, probably most of them are baby mamas. So you did see some red signs too, right? A lot of them are not married. Some of them unhappily married. We have real lives, right? So stop talking to people like they're completely stupid, right? Especially when they're openly saying, I did this because I wanted to see this. That means they knew that there were red flags, okay? Foo-foo heads. Like, stop being mean to people. It's out of control. Y'all just jealous because she made that bag. She dropped those videos, let me tell you. This baby, she dropped them videos back to back. She dropped them all last week. The way I found out, caveat, stick a pin right here. When you get ready to tell something on the internet, it's very unfortunate, but jealousy, especially now that I know it's really about money, or anything, that she just became popular overnight by sharing her real truth, and she's telling the truth. People went and found his name. His family is being threatened and harassed and things of that nature. And it's very unfair. It's very unfair because of the last thing she said in that particular clip. He did not just lie to her. And it wasn't just the ex-wife either. His own family don't fuck with him because he's a liar. He has been a liar his entire life. So her taking this as, or anybody that takes it as, how could he do this to me? How wasn't he considerate? You're asking for qualities that don't exist. He made them up and perfected them. And that's the part that hurts and that you can't process, right? Because you're thinking, who would be able to fake being this nice, being this considerate, being this amazing? Because it makes more sense for this to really be you, because this is a great version of a person. So why wouldn't you actually want to be this person, right? And the killer is, I will tell you 3 things ahead of time because it gave me anxiety, right? He did not ever hit her and hurt her. That was one of my main concerns. And he did not take anything from her other than time, those monetary. He didn't take anything from her. He paid all the bills. That's how you know he's sick. But hopefully she will get therapy. I have reached out to her because Queen should help fix another queen's crown. And you'll hear throughout this series, we get to see some really good examples of shit we've been talking about. And I love it because we get to see that it exists. So it was like the female version of Cat Williams, right? Because Cat Williams aired a bunch of stuff and it allowed us to see some people, despite the money, do make good decisions, right? This young lady, and I'm calling her a young lady because she's around my age. I have to be young. This young lady, she wanted to tell her story, and with the hopes that it would help someone. You don't know if you're going to go viral. You don't know if that's going to happen because she didn't dog him out. It's, you watch. I don't see how anybody isn't using these things for examples and then moving on. But baby girl, my first advice is get the book, The 4 Agreements, because this is what It's Not All About You means. I know that is your real situation and that happened, but it wasn't because of you. It wasn't. And it goes back to Dr. P and I talking about giving your blueprint. She gave her blueprint. So next one.
Not because I couldn't remember stuff. I probably remember way more details than what I actually put out. But it's just the fact that it's like I'm reminding myself, how did you let this happen? So, therapy is real. Therapy helps. Stella Rosa Black helps too. And yes, I will one day get to London. I will get my dark blue BMW X5 with a cognac interior. I believe I will get those things. Just got to get them a different route. So, thank you all for being on the playlist of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I promise I will go live, and I will let you all know when I go live so that we can have a wine night full of question and answers. Thank you for watching.
So let me tell you, that one was actually out of order. That's supposed to be the last one. So with that one, we could take them in any order, actually. With that one, so a large part, there's a reason why she did what she did, right? Let's just be honest, okay? As a woman, you can say, I don't need a man. The foo-foo heads that are saying, I'd rather be by myself than to go through that. No, let's change the verbiage. I'd rather be in a relationship that reflects love, God, and what I put into the shit that I expect out. You wouldn't rather be single. So you could stop that damn lie. That is a lie. It is a lie from the pit of hell. I pay my own shit. I don't need nothing. Baby, babe, okay? Take these bills off my plate. All of them. I might do some things. And you would too. Would you sell your soul? But guess what? Everybody's definition of that is different. Everybody can take different things. Um, so it's not fair to go so hard on a person. One, because she was safe, and two, because she could take care of herself with her decision. I'm getting that fixed. I promise. I didn't go buy the battery. Please forgive me. It's raining here, like really bad. I didn't even enjoy my 3-day weekend. Caveat. But we have all made decisions in some part of your life that it could be your goddamn mama. Let's just keep it 100. Your mama could be a swindler. Your daddy could be a swindler. Your baby daddy could still be a swindler. And no offense, some of y'all kids is swindlers, like in real life, your grown ass kids, which by the way, that's going to be a clip tonight. Whoo, baby. A judge found out them kids wasn't his. Anyway, listen, we all make decisions for different reasons. She's at least sharing her reasons and being very transparent as this goes through. Why? Because these are the things that you know in your head, and sometimes not saying them out loud, and not even if you just say it to a friend. Um, Once you say things that you need to say, because it's eating you up so bad on the inside, especially when you are degreed, you are smart, you're a boss, you're beautiful. Um, and then here's the hook: when you are plus size, when you are dark skinned, um, when you are not so pretty, all of those things um, either make you go one of two ways. And we'll talk about, I'll share which way I went and then which way she went, because I'm open and honest too about that, especially about being plus size, because I mean, you can see it, it's not a secret. So here we go. Here's the next thing.
No. I trust the people who were in my life before him. If we were friends or if we were in a relationship or whatever and I knew you before him, I trust you explicitly. But if you're somebody I just met, I don't trust you. I don't. There's no point in me getting on here and saying and making it seem like, oh, I'm so strong, I'm so brave. I struggle big time. Because on one hand, I want to like someone. On the other hand, I'm immediately thinking, what if it's a repeat? And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I can't go through that again. I can't. Every single thing in our relationship was a lie. It took me a while to realize every single day this man lied to me. Every single day he lied to me. Every conversation he had was a lie. I will never know how much he lied to me. I'll never know. I've made my peace with it. I will never know how deep it really truly goes. I only know what I experienced, and I only know what God allowed me to see. But I'm willing to bet that there's a lot I still don't know. When people say, oh, you dodged a bullet, like you just, and I've read a lot of the comments on this, and people have sent me a lot of the comments. And so I need to make one thing very clear. I am fully aware I dodged a bullet. I am so grateful to my God that I did not have that man's child. I'm sorry if that offends some of you, but it's the truth. I'm grateful that we didn't buy a house and that I'm not financially tied to him in any way, shape, or form. But I am also grateful for the fact that there are things about my ex-husband that I discovered in terms of how he is when it comes to other women. And I'm grateful that God has kept me and protected me. That's all I'm going to say.
So, um, She did dodge a bullet, but she dodged a bullet of the house that she ran directly into, knowing something was wrong. Um, she didn't take her time. They met right before COVID, went on a date. 2 weeks later, they were living together in her condo because COVID happened and she didn't want to, what do we have to do? Stay in the house? I forgot the term for it. But she didn't want to be going through COVID by herself. And his place wasn't up to par with what she had. So she moved him in. It takes years to find out some things that people do. Um, I have known people for lots of years. And in these last couple of years, there's so much shit that people lie about. It is. And the very interesting thing is that it's sometimes it is right in your face. When you find out things, you're very upset, but you're upset at yourself. You're really not upset at the other person at first. You're really upset with yourself, like, how the fuck did this happen to me? Why did I deserve it? Where was I at? How did I not see this? I'm actually smart. I would have seen this otherwise. You would have seen it if you thought like that. Okay. The same way we say, I don't understand why you did that. And I don't want to understand because that's a twisted ass motherfucking mind. It's the same thing. So give yourself some grace. You can't see a criminal because you're not a goddamn criminal. I would say the more that social media has been out here, and the reason why I'm going through this story in particular is because people ask about marriage, right? Well, this girl is sharing exactly how marriage went for her. And for the most part, I will say most of her comments are amazing. It's the people that's taking it and making additional content that, of course, bad brings in bad. They're saying things that aren't okay because that's what brings people in. Of course, she has to be dumb. Of course, somebody that looks like her wouldn't have the person that he said he was. Things like that that are completely asinine and out of control. But that's what makes the money. So I will also say, if you're going to take something to social media, like you gotta, it's no real way to prepare yourself so much, but because a lot of times if certain things are said that trigger other things that have been said to you, it will hurt. It will. Um, but do your very best to be prepared if you decide to share your story with your face. Um, Everything was truly a lie. When we go through this shit, y'all, and you can go ahead and go through them too, by the way. I put her name so that you can go ahead and go through them. And then when we're talking about them, you can give your opinion. TikTok only allows for 10-minute videos. So the way that we're breaking them down, it may be a couple in one and not in the other. I am not going to edit them so that it looks okay for you. That's why we're doing this at lunch, and we in this together. I'm not editing shit. Okay. You're going to get it exactly the way she gave it. But you won't even believe. Let me tell you how bad it is. Yeah, I just had to back up because I think I just felt the hood coming out of me. Jesus. Um, it was so bad that when she started to get the nuts and bolts of the family part, right? Because it was COVID, it's a lot of separation, right? You can't verify a lot of things, right? You don't see things. Okay. Let's just take into account the time that it was as well. This son of a bitch would be on the phone talking to people that wasn't on the phone. That's how bad he lied, but she could hear a voice on the other side. It makes me so angry because there are so many things that Black women that try to do right and try to be good fucking Black women, We hear men go through so much. Why don't you trust him? It's just because you're scarred that you have this wall up. No, it's just because people is fucked up. So as long as I don't treat you fucked up, I could have whatever boundaries I want. If you don't like them, you can stay the hell away from me. See how that works? See how that works? This girl completely let herself go and fought the fact that she was actually thinking, maybe I'm just jaded because it is, or maybe it's because, I've never experienced anything like this before where somebody did take care of the bills and do this and do that. It was so much that was right in front of her face and real that the little, I don't know, little, some big, but the different things that was an aha for her, it wasn't an aha she could point at. It wasn't an aha she could prove. So in an effort not to be that angry Black woman, that woman that doesn't know how to appreciate a Black man, that we question everything, that don't go digging through their stuff unless you want to find something, um, don't mistrust people for no reason. All of that shit played in my head because I'm thinking when I was dating, this is exactly why the fuck I didn't date, because I was jaded on the other side. I was jaded not at that point by anything that anybody had necessarily done to me. I mean, I was cheated on in every relationship, but you want to know what's that? The kind of trauma that we have that didn't even impact me. The cheating part was like, okay. It was more the lying, the not showing up, those type of things. It was almost, I don't know. Anyway, because she talked herself out of it, she started keeping a recorded journal so that she could talk herself through some of these things. To me, that was the red flag, not worse. The first red flag. That's exactly what I meant to say, not worse. Women's intuition is in your gut when somebody gets in your space. When somebody gets in your space and they are penetrating your life, the soul ties, they are something else. And that thing kept it eats away at you so bad. But the human side of you says, you're not perfect. You're seeing too much in that. Maybe you just don't understand it. You don't know enough about this thing to say this, right? So you make these decisions. And that is why I always say I put more on the person that did it than the victim. Because how can you not? You're the one who did all of this shit in full strength, full brain power, not invested. You a sorry ass son of a bitch. The things this man lied about. Talking on the phone. Mm. Let's listen to the last part, and this will tie it all together, and then I'm gonna wrap it up and possibly have a shot. The things people go through, just so we're clear, the one of the judge made me just as mad because people is demons. Is demons and people. Um, mm. Okay, here we go.
So when I started out making this series and I made the decision to tell my story, my motive was I just want to help one person. If there is a woman out there who's like, God, I want to be married and I met this guy and something don't seem right, but maybe it's not that bad. My advice is, honey, just go ahead and do your research because I can honestly tell you being single sucks. Okay, in my opinion, sometimes it sucks, but being married to the wrong person is a type of hell no one should have to go through. You should not have to be married to someone that does not like you. You should not have to be married to someone that doesn't even love you. And I know what that is like. I know what it's like to be told, hey, babe, I love you. And yet, I swear, I think that man sat back in the recliner with his WWE Championship Roman Reigns belt and laughed his ass off at me every day. Like, damn, she really believed it. Ha, 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 ha. I do. I really do think that. Um, my radar was broken because I am an intelligent woman and I know that I know better. And I still sometimes ask myself, how the fuck did you let this happen? How did you let this be your story? All because at the time I wanted it to be my turn. And I hoped it was my turn. And when people say, well, what do you mean by that? I just meant we all see it, whether it's social media or real life. We all see where the woman she done been through some stuff, but she finally met someone who appreciates, loves, and respects her. And it is a beautiful thing. I had hoped that when I met him, it was my turn for that. And instead of being obedient, I wanted to be right and I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And the cost of that decision was heavy. The toll of reliving this whole scenario was heavy. It was. I'm almost surprised at how hard it was to actually finish this.
So that's the last one for this lunch. Let me tell you, how much more accountability can she take? She already said it. She said it very clear. Now I get that lunch. By the time she said that, remember I'm eating lunch. Don't come for me. By the time she said this is episode like 50, right? That's why I wanted to get through all of them and then present it in the best light possible, because we are going to go through them. But I wanted there to be some type of introduction and the visibility that she does have accountability. She feels how she feels and things like that, so that people will be a little more considerate in how they discuss this topic, at least on my platform. You can go to the other ones if you want to be mean, or some things just aren't mean. It's just not what I would say. And we can have a difference in opinion, but how you say it absolutely matters. So, because I've already been told I'm not holding her accountable enough. Is she my child? How am I supposed to hold her accountable? And she's already holding her own self accountable. Leave that lady alone. She's still good. This is fresh. This is literally fresh. And to this point, ain't nobody came out and said she lying. And again, his own family don't fuck with him. In in the space of those three things that I named earlier, a plus size woman, a not so attractive woman, and a darker skinned woman. Those three in particular are made to believe that the longer you are not married is because of those three things, right? Those three things are the primary focus of why you are by yourself, and you should have a little more flexibility in your standards, and you should think things more carefully before walking away. All of those things are kind of embedded in your head as well, if depending on how you grew up. But for the most part, especially in social media, especially in certain social groups, and then coming up, those are things that you are made to believe, coupled with the fact that she comes from a background of not having an abundance, not having overflow. She was tired. The somebody coming in and paying your bills for you and being really nice to you, and you're having adult conversations that need to be had. He is dating with intention. All of these things are what you prayed for, right? But then when they happen, you are scared. But from this story, there's so many more of people that have met one day, married the next day. Bila, her and her husband, they were not together long before they were engaged and married. and they're still married today. And it was from conversation. It was from conversation. They didn't meet each other's whole family and do all of these things either, but it worked out, right? Um, they're still together today. People back in the day, you were arranged in marriage, right? So let's not act completely like this is out of scope even for today, because it's not. People are still put together in marriage. It's reality, right? My problem is my problem and my blessing and my curse. Okay. We'll end with this. My blessing and my curse is that coming up, I've always been plus size, but I was taught that that's not something that somebody should mistreat me for. I was always made to feel beautiful, and told I was beautiful. And even the men that I dated did. Of course, there was a couple, in high school and all that, that, no, I don't like her. She's fat. Okay. First of all, I am fat. Well, that fat then. Um, Second, first of all, you have a right to your preference. Third, first of all, it would mostly be like, I didn't ask for you. Wait though. But when you come from a space where you have experienced certain traumas, is at least this is better than I've never experienced this. Um, Parents, this is why it's important for mothers to date their sons, fathers to date their daughters. It's really important for a village to build a strong child. I don't come from a background with a lot of money, nor with the father, but my village was amazing. My mother was amazing. My mother showed me how I should be treated. My uncle showed me how I should be treated. And that's all the people in our family or whatever. You have to build that up because you already know, especially at this point, right? There's way too much social media. We can see so many aspects of life, and in them, we can see things like, damn, I never thought that could happen to somebody. I thought that was a fake movie, or damn, people is really crazy. Or that could have been me. Or some part of that is me. I'm pretty sure as we go through this, you're going to see something. You're going to see yourself in her, especially if you're a Black woman. You're going to see yourself in her. It's inevitable. If you are honest with yourself, you're going to see yourself in her. I appreciate her for sharing this. And I do think that it will help somebody else who may be in the thick of it right now. It's not easy. It's not easy because her decision in her head, it sounds like from that, was whatever it is that I'm feeling in my gut, we can work through it, because the reality is these checks and balances are real. So if these are real, why would I give up all of these things I've never had for a feeling that I'm having and I don't know where it's coming from, and it doesn't make sense why I'm feeling this, or even if this isn't all the way true, because one of the biggest issues was a house. That's okay, you know. For those of you that are liars, the damage you do to people because you're a liar, and I don't mean a regular liar. We all lie. I don't mean a regular lie. I mean a lie that drastically impacts somebody else's life for whatever the reason is that you do it, right? The type of karma that you're going to bring to yourself, your children, your family, is really not worth it. One of the things that she asked was, why me? Why couldn't he just say, I like to do these things in preparation for the future, or these are goals that I have for when I can one day afford them? You're kind of asking him to be healed. That's the reality. Uh, I believe he loved you, or at least liked you. There had to be something there, because there was never an issue, right? And he didn't get anything from you. So there had to be some type of love. He just wasn't able to properly execute it. He just wasn't able to properly execute it, nor was he brave enough to tell his truth and trust that you could love him and work with him through it. Because again, you weren't the only one. It's been since he's been a little kid. And for a little kid to be a pathological liar and estranged from every single person, even his very own twin, I'll just leave it at that. He is estranged from everybody. So tonight we are going to talk about this topic on the show, and we are going to have guests to give their perspective. My perspective is going to continue to be from the plus size woman who did things right and waited until X time to get married and do these things, and how that is a different type of pressure, and all the other things that are happening in the back of your head because they're things that are in your face every day. Whether you believe them or not, whether you're strong or not, at some point they take a toll. And if somebody does something to you that is close to you, that you love, and let's just be 100, it doesn't have to be a partner. It can be somebody you call a sister, a friend, a best friend. If they treat you less than, in the back of your mind, it's because I'm plus size. Oh, I don't look like you. Oh, I don't do the same things that you do. And that type of hurt, it's different. It does hurt. And it takes a lot of reflection to get to a point where you can say, it's not all about me. And you can, because you know you're a damn good person, and you know that you deserve the best from everybody. And you know that when they don't give it, and when they give coward behavior, that is something they have to work out. And then you get to decide if you love them and you want to keep them around and help them work through it, or you love them and you want them to go to the deepest part of hell. It's your choice. It's your goddamn life. They don't have to stay in it. And I'm glad that she chose very quickly, might I add, for him not to be in her life. Y'all know COVID was like warp speed. It was a lot going on, shit. So that is it for right now. Join us tonight live on this channel, of course. I'm not doing TikTok, y'all. It's crazy. Oh, it's crazy in the streets. I can't do it. But join me here tomorrow as well. Actually, every day this week for lunch, because baby, we finna start going through them. Now that you have a little bit of background, and feel free to go to her page and watch them and support her as well. So good night. No, or I'm used to doing my show at night. Have a good day. Finish the rest of your work and meet all those deadlines and shit. You need to keep your job so you can make sure you take care of yourself. I'm just saying. And then I will see you tonight with Ro at 8:10. Give 10 extra minutes. Usually your eyelash is hanging off for some child. I don't know. But we'll see you tonight. Bye.